The indictment alleges that rather than abide by Georgia's legal process for election challenges, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election result.
It was Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis sounding off following her office's blockbuster indictment of former President Donald Trump and 18 other co-defendants. The charges stemming from the president and his legal team's efforts to contest the results of the 2020 presidential election. Now, one state Georgia senator, Colton Moore, is moving to impeach DA Willis over the charges brought against the former president, accusing her of carrying out a political agenda against Donald Trump. With us now, Georgia State Senator Colton Moore. State Senator, welcome to National Report. If you could just walk us through, what would an impeachment inquiry even look like in the state of Georgia?
Well, the legislature has an important role, and that is oversight of judicial and executive officers in the state, just like it is in states all across the country. My role as a state senator, I have a job to do. People expect me to do that job, and that's why I've launched this process of calling for a special session to immediately convene so we can first and foremost defund this rogue district attorney, and secondly, investigate this district attorney, and if the corruption is found, ultimately impeach.
Ultimately, District Attorney Fani Willis was elected by the people of Georgia. Why do you believe now would be the time to seek an impeachment of an elected official?
Well, while she was elected, there are still checks and balances in government, right? And the legislature has the ability and the power to do so. We also have the ability to neuter her powers with the means of defunding. But let's not forget, in Georgia, it took 19 days to certify the election results. And these individuals who have been indicted were simply using their First Amendment right to express their concerns about election integrity. Some of these charges, they're all novel charges, have to do with a tweet. Someone made a tweet. So we're in uncharted territory. She's acting like a complete tyrant. And my constituents and Georgians don't want their taxpayer dollars going to fund this type of political persecution.
You know, you've made it clear that you don't approve of the indictment she's brought forward against the former president. I'm sensing that. But what would you ultimately need to prove to your fellow lawmakers in the state that she should not maintain that position as district attorney?
Well, it could be just as simple as saying that she has violated her oath of office because she's violating these individuals' First Amendment rights to free speech. And it's obviously a political move for her. She's using taxpayer funds. She's using her government authority to make a political move. And it's very evident, right? Before the grand jury even finishes, the charges are released by the clerk. Then she's setting up her fundraising accounts, getting them ready to go before her grand announcement. And then just think about the president of the Senate, the lieutenant governor, who had to go before a judge and show the judge that she had fundraisers for his political opponent, or else he would have been caught up in this same indictment. These are crazy, insane charges. I mean, racketeering, RICO, these individuals could go to jail for life.
I wanted to just mention that again for our viewers. It's, again, the former president now facing 4 indictments. So this one in particular, the Georgia one, 13 charges, including violating the RICO law, soliciting a public official to violate an oath, and also filing false documents. Now, you mentioned, sir, about this sort of indictment that appeared on the website again on, I believe it was Monday. It's all happening so fast. And then it was taken down. And so Fani Willis was asked about why this all happened before there was a vote to indict. Here's her response.
I can't tell you anything about what you refer to. I am not an expert on clerks' duties or even administrative duties. I wouldn't know how to work that system, and so I'm not going to speculate.
And then since then, we've heard that it was essentially an effort to test the system and conduct a trial run. Just your thoughts, sir, on how this has played out, the fact that these charges happen to be the same ones that Trump ultimately faced once they were voted on by the grand jury.
Yeah, I mean, she's testing the system of the American Constitution. She's testing the system of freedom, taking political prisoners. And, you know, let's not forget, too, that the ACLU reports that half of the prisoners, those incarcerated in Fulton County, have yet to be charged with a crime. And then we have young Thug and young Slime. They've been in court now for a year. They've yet to get through jury selection, but yet at that same podium you just saw, she gets up and she says that we're going to have these folks, these 18, 19, indicted in court in 6 months. I mean, this is right at election time. This in itself, any person with any common sense can see what it is, and it must be stopped with taxpayer funds.
All right. And again, August 25th is that arraignment deadline for Trump to appear, sir, in your state of Georgia. And then we'll maybe learn additional details of the actual timeline of the trial, which you point out could take place while a lot of campaigning efforts are underway. That's Georgia State Senator Colton Moore joining us this morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You got it.